Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're going over the last final card of the new Blue Eyes structure deck. This has been a pretty good structure deck so far. I think this structure deck does quite a bit for Blue Eyes, and we finish up here with an XYZ monster, which is also kind of crazy. They get a Link, they get a Synchro, and they get an XYZ all in this structure deck, and they get some really strong main deck support as well. I really think Blue Eyes is interesting. I'm not going to say they're tier 1, but I think you can absolutely, if you're a big fan of Blue Eyes, you can absolutely play them on the competitive level. At the very least, you can give them a shot. So let's get into this final card here so we can kind of discuss here. Alright, so here we go. This is Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. So indigo instead of blue. Artwork's fun. Yeah, I mean, he's a Blue Eyes card. I mean, I've never really been too drawn into Blue Eyes, like big dragon artwork, but yeah, he's about on par as what you would hope for from a Blue Eyes XYZ. So here we go. Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. This is a level 8 light dragon XYZ. 4,000 attack, 0 defense. Very big, but he does require 2 level 8 dragons. He is not a completely generic XYZ. He does take dragons specifically, but there should be a decent amount of level 8 dragons to be able to push into this card. Okay, you can use the first and third effects of this card once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is XYZ summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. Interesting. We see effects like this here and there. What it really comes back to is how easily can we, like, quick effect make this on the opponent's turn? Otherwise, how easy is this card able to make, even like in a going second capacity, to try and play into a board, at least force a negation from our opponent out, if not resolve this and then turn off everything left on their board. It's cool. I like that it's every card too, so even spells and traps get hit by this. That's a pretty powerful effect. Second effect, cannot attack directly unless it has a normal monster as material. Okay, that kind of like mitigates it being a 4,000 attack monster, right? That's really, really big, but at least you can't attack directly in, like, OTK with this card, at least with direct attacks, unless you have the Blue Eyes itself attached to this card as material, but that's pretty easy for this deck, so we'll take that. And the last effect, you can attach 1 material from this card, then you can target a normal monster in your graveyard or banish, special summon it, and if you do, it gains 1,000 attack. Ooh, so correct me if I'm wrong on the ruling on this card. Even if you make this card with Blue Eyes, like a vanilla Blue Eyes, you'd still be able to activate this card even if you don't have Blue Eyes already in rotation? Because if you have to have a second Blue Eyes, like, because theoretically you want to make this card with Blue Eyes because of this second effect, right? Like, they're kind of like saying you should want to make this with vanilla Blue Eyes, but like, if you can't activate this effect unless Blue Eyes is already engraved or banished, then it kind of hurts this effect at least, like a decent little bit, right? Because if we can't even activate this without Blue Eyes already being in rotation, then like, what's I don't want to say what's the point. This card still has some utility to it, but it doesn't really like blow me away. Anyway, if you can activate it, that's pretty good, because theoretically you should be making this with Blue Eyes more often than not. You could detach the Blue Eyes' cost, then target the Blue Eyes you just detached, and then special it back, and now it becomes 4,000. You have 8,000 damage there. Now this guy wouldn't be able to attack if it didn't have a second Blue Eyes as material, but there you go. That's still something spicy you can do there. All in all, decent card. Like, not a card that like moves the needle too much for me. I mean, like, these really good consistency spells, the new level 1 spellcaster girl, and like the Link one, and even the Synchro. Like, those are the big hitters in this structure deck that really move the needle for Blue Eyes. This might be a card we end up playing as a 1-up just because we can, you know what I mean? It's fairly easy to get into. We put level 8s on the board pretty easily. But, for a deck that does seem to want to Synchro summon more, like get more payoff from Synchro summoning, maybe we don't end up going into this guy. But kind of depends. I mean, maybe there's room for him in the extra. I can't imagine the extra deck is like so tight you can't even imagine this guy being in there. So he might just be like a nice utility option for the deck, but it doesn't seem like out of this world must-have changes, you know, everything for the strategy. Which is okay, because the rest of the structure deck was already so strong. That's kind of the difference between this structure deck and Fire Kings from last year, which is something I talked about every time we kind of talked about this structure deck. I was like, keep in mind, Ponix was the final Fire King card revealed, and Ponix was by far the best card in that structure deck, right? So I was like, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. Like, don't count their structure deck as mid until you see the final card. Except we got the other 7 cards, and they were pretty freaking strong. So it's not like we came into this being like, it's just okay. We were already like, this is a pretty dang good structure deck, especially for whatever your expectations might have been for Blue Eyes. They don't tend to make Blue Eyes like, and Dark Magician support like on par with modern day competitive standards very often. So we will take it. But yeah, very, very cool. I'm really excited. This is the final card, which I believe means later this week is when the OCG actually gets to this product. I'm pretty excited to see if any players actually come through with this and actually end up getting some top cut validation for this deck. I'd love to see what like the way they're approaching it and what they're doing with it. If it's Bestial based and it's just kind of like a Dragon Link kind of variant, or if it's kind of just like more pure Blue Eyes variant. I'd be really curious to see where they go there. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we should be getting back into news. I mean, prior to the ban list last weekend, we really didn't get like any news for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But we should be getting back into the news cycle here in the next couple weeks. So I'm excited to get back to it. Let me know your thoughts on this card down below, and the Blue Eyes, I guess, just at post structure deck. Your thoughts before we actually get like data from it. I'd love to hear your early thoughts on that, but I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe for more news videos like this one down the line, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.